done recording another session for my Patreon group. Had in a saxophone player and a band. Thank you for coming in and doing some recordings for me and for everyone at Patreon. Yeah, so I just did the recording and I went and chopped everything I could. So basically, if we go here to the sample edit, so you can see the full thing right here. I have the full recording, and what I do is I just go bit by bit and chop everything up into small sections so I can get just small chops out of that. And you know that saxophone and boom bap, they just go super well together. So I got her in and I went already and chopped the whole session. So I got my chops in already, about 700 chops from everything. Things like this. Yeah, and then just try to get as much as I can so I can then start layering sounds and creating sample chops that are royalty free. I made some loops from this. And I have that drum break in the back just so when I'm making loops, it helps me to create a good loop. So you get things like this. That's just pure, this is pure hip hop and jazz. That's the whole, this is what I love to do. Yeah, so I had a bit of an issue as well. It's just part of learning, so it's a learning curve for me as well. I never recorded a saxophone player before, and I wasn't aware about the noise from the keys hitting when you're playing the notes. So I got a bit of that inside the recording. You can easily mask it, and you know, you were listening to the chops. They aren't prominent. Those hits aren't prominent in the samples as you could hear in the beat, but they are there right in the back, and you can EQ them out. But you know, next time I record an instrument, I'll be aware of those hits. But this is just it's just a learning curve, and that's it. Yeah, but overall, I really love these chops. I made these loops, but I'm also interested in making just chops, not recording a loop and then cutting it up, but actual chops, just creating just one chop. That's what I'm really interested in. Things like this. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So I'm just using my keyboard here to trigger some chords, and I create a bunch of different chords, and then I'll go to the saxophone chops and try to find a chop that matches the chord that I created. Just doing that, and then I've added some effects to the chops as well, some reverbs, delays, just to get a little bit more color onto the cuts. Everything went to Patreon. You know, I'm doing this for Patreon, not obviously for me as well to make my own beats, but also to Patreon. And it's really cool because I'm also learning with all this. And it's one of the things that I'm passionate about, sound design and recording instruments and creating cuts. So I really love the whole process. And I'm gonna just make a beat with those cuts and see how it goes. Hopefully my chops are okay. Okay, so I have a beat running already. I have some hits. What I normally do is I load several snares and stuff. I wish they would improve on the Akai audition function, where maybe you could have um, within the browser, once you choose the pad, you would have an audition for that pad. And if that pad has something written in the grid, so if this pad has some MIDI notes written in the grid, you would have that option to swap the sample that's in here just for audition purposes. You know, instead of loading it up to the pad, it would automatically read whatever's on here if you have the audition on. So you wouldn't have to load it up, and it would just be easier to audition whatever's written on the grid that way. But because that isn't available, what I do normally is just to load up some kicks, some snares, some hi-hats, and then try some combinations with that. Yeah, so I have this running. And I'm gonna try to put some cuts over it. They all sound good to me, so I don't really care too much. I'm going to pick some of these and just try to build from there. I was enjoying these ones. Just going to record the first one in. I'm going to add some extra kicks on this. What we need to do now is add some extra sounds, some bass on it, find maybe some extra samples. I'll try to find something to sprinkle on top of this, but definitely I need a bass here, and I need some extra samples just to sprinkle some goodness over this, which is sounding really cool already. So yeah, saxophone for boom bap, super cool, man. Enjoying these. Obviously one of the things I want to do is start mixing everything together, so previous packs with new packs, and try to get new sounds, try to get new chops. And this is one of the things I want to do more and more. Instead of just creating loops, which I will be continue doing, I want to create chops, just chops itself, which I find really interesting method to making beats. I prefer to work with chops. What I'm really interested in is not for it to be complex, but for it to sound good. And I think I did an okay job with that. You guys be the judge. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Follow me on Instagram. I put some beats out there as well. Thank you all for watching my videos. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, and don't forget to listen to the beat right now.